Hello, it's Pluto Man here. Welcome to Poker for Muppets. This is a tournament I played on Thursday night, so a few days ago now. Uh, and yeah, it's a pot limit Omaha high-low tournament, tiny buy-in, $2.20. But I don't really get. I mean, I feel like I get this game sometimes, and sometimes I feel I don't. My results don't uh, back up the amount of study I've done, but of course, I've got tiny sample sizes. You need dozens and dozens of tournaments to really get an idea of how, of what's whether you're doing things right, whether you're not, just because your results. I mean, that's just so dependent on getting like if you win one of these tournaments, well, that will counteract, uh, months and months of not getting anywhere potentially, especially if you play them as rarely as I do anyway. Um, so without further ado, let's get on with it. Now, so this is a hand. Here we go. Here's a hand I played. Uh, the early stages. Been going for about 20 minutes. Oh, no, no, not 20 minutes. This one started at 7:32, so 3 minutes. We've been going for 3 minutes, and um, I think it's okay to open this on the button. I should have raised a bit more than that, though. I think at this stage of the tournament, you want to be going to 3 times or something. We've got two Broadway cards, two wheel cards, got a suit. Now look what I flop here. Now this is a problem. This flop is a problem. Um, it looks great, doesn't it? I've got the nut. I've got the nut straight. But look, there's a flush draw out there. Better lows out there. Somebody with a better low is free rolling me. Someone with ace two or ace four or two four or ace five is is free rolling me here. Because they're guaranteed to win half the pot, to win basically half the pot, and you know I'm just trying to hold on for the other half, even though I've got the current nuts for the high right now. I do actually have a black back door, um, flush draw here, so it's possible. I do have some possibility of improving my high, but it's very, very slim. Let's see what happens. So obviously, I mean, it's still, but if it was heads up, I think it'd be different. But three-way, of course, I think I still have to bet this. And I guess, would it be terrible to just check and then wait for a safe turn card? So anyway, I bet three-quarters of the pot. He gets out of the way. Now, the, the it pairs the board. Now, I still feel I have to bet here. I guess that's okay. Now the flush comes in as well. So you've got flushes and the board pair. So suddenly my high is not very good. What was interesting about that, if I just go back, um, see what he actually had there. So I end up winning the low part of the pot, and his flush gets there, right? So he didn't bet the river, so I end up taking down half the pot. Or would I have called a bet on the river? Oof, I don't know. See, this is the crazy thing, right? You flop the nuts, the absolute nuts for high. This is where it's not hold'em. This is not hold'em, and and I'm like hanging on at the end to try and make sure I don't lose the whole pot. It's really difficult. It's one aspect of the game that's really difficult. Anyway, keep going. I go very, very card dead. So here, um, the next hand. Obviously, I don't have anything here. Oh yeah, I'm just playing, just looking back at, I did that in real time, look back to see what actually happened there. Because sometimes there's so many cards, you've got multicolored stuff going on, highs, lows, straights, flushes, whatever. It's hard to know what's what sometimes, so you must make sure you have a look to see what they had. Yes, I mean he actually had a decent hand there. He was double suited to begin with, so yeah. I mean, whether he should have called called those bets on the flop and the turn, I don't know because he hasn't got much of a low there. That's the thing. He's got a crappy low. Um, like if an ace comes, well then he's got a live. deuce there. Let's make 7, 6, 3, 2 ace, which would, that's an interesting thing, isn't it? If he had that, no, I would still have the best low then. I'd have 6, 5, 4, 3 ace. So he's not winning the low. So yeah, he at the moment I'm actually free rolling him, I guess. But really, it's pretty much he's kind of destined to only get half. But he doesn't know he's going to get half the pot because I mean he has to has to hope the flush card comes or something, which it does. So I don't know whether those flop and turn calls of his were any good. I just actually don't know. It's the thing. I mean, a lot of these draw games that I play that you see me play, I actually know whether that's good or not. I know if it's terrible or not. This, I actually don't know. So it'd be nice to find out, wouldn't it? Anyway, I think might have folded there in his spot, actually. I think I probably would have folded. Whether I'm just too tight. My flush draw is terrible too. I mean, the reason why I couldn't have that flush draw better. So here I decide to limp it. I don't like limping. Look, what's here? And I don't flop well. This limping under the gun. I do have a backdoor flush draw. I just want to see a turn card if at all possible for basically as little money as possible. And this is as little money as possible. That's not zero. So okay. Ooh, and now look what I've got on the turn. I've got that low draw and the potential wheel if a 5 were to come. And it's rainbow too, which helps me. But that river card is just garbage for me, and it puts the Broadway out there. So someone's got ace queen. Someone could easily have ace queen here. Now it looks like he's either got ace queen or he's representing ace queen. I'm guessing he's probably got it actually. I mean, or the other thing, you could have queen 9 too, right? You could have queen 9. And the thing is, you think, well, queen 9 is all the sort of hand that people are going to have, but you'd be surprised. People will show up with basically anything here. So, okay, open this up. Notice I'm down to 2-2-2-2 now. I've lost some stackage, and we're now 40 minutes of the way through the tournament, and I've had no hands, pretty much. I've just been really, really card dead. But here, I flop trips with a king kicker. It's a good hand. Now I also have, I have a low, but I've also got a redraw to a much, much better low. If a 5 were to come, if a 2 were to come, then, I've suddenly got a really good hand. And or also, I'm kind of hoping to boat up on the river too. So I've got a lot of stuff here. Now there you go. Now, do I bet this river? The thing is, it puts so many straights out there that I don't have. Put all these straights out there that I don't have. I just don't know whether I should have bet this. Whether I should actually just shove here or something. So the fact that he's stuck around to see this river card makes me think he's got something. So look what I've got here. I mean, what beats me for low? If he's got 4-2, that's a wheel. That's the nut low, right? A live 2. So which would mean he has ace 2, 3, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2. That's a live juice. That's the second nut low. I have the third nut low, and I've got a pretty good high. I mean, should I just be betting this? I think I've bet these spots before and then ended up losing everything. This is just where I don't quite know. I've got a good hand, but he probably hasn't got a wheel. Could have a live 2 though. Let's see. How does this one go down? So I think I just checked this river from memory. I think I just checked this. Yeah, I don't know. And anyway, he just check it down and I win that pot, and I feel like I lost some value there. I just don't know. Anyway, on the cutoff here, got a good hand. Got to raise this up here. I would never limp in that position with first in, I think, with anything. Only like the first 2 positions would I consider limping. That's good, but that's how I play. Now I've flopped really well here. I've got a couple of straight draws. I've got a double gut shot here. I've got a three and a seven both give me a straight, right? Um, and of course I've got the nut low. So it's a really good flop. No flush draws on, so I don't have a flush draw, but nobody else is going to have. Nobody else has a flush draw either. So I bet just over half the pot, so what 60%. Now, ooh, that's a fantastic hand, fantastic card for me. Look at this. I now have the straight. It's not the nut straight, but it's a it's a straight. And obviously, I must just bet this river. How much do I bet? 11.11. Is that what I go for half the pot? 11.99 is what I choose in the end. Don't know why I changed that. Such a tiny difference. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Call me, call me, call me, call me, please. We can go all in if he does that, but he's probably only splitting then. But anyway, he just folds. So I've run my chip stack up a little bit now. Only three-quarters of an hour through the tournament. Got a great hand here. I think under the gun I might actually limp this. Not because it's a bad hand or a mediocre hand. It's a very good hand, but it plays better multi-way. We're going multi-way. Isn't that nice? Whoo! Look at me. Now, a really key feature of this hand is having all those low cards. So the threes, if it was a four, that would be way better, wouldn't it? Look at it, because I have a three in my hand. So that's knocked out that counterfeit protection I have. But the good thing is I've got the nut low at the moment. So if an ace or deuce were to come and counterfeit my nut low, I have that five there, which will still give me the second nut low, right? Because I've got other possibly I can make a wheel. Uh, yeah. So even if I get counterfeited now, still that five could be really handy. It increases the value of my hand for sure. So I just want to get some money in here. But I don't have a flush draw. That would have been really awesome, wouldn't it? Really awesome. But there's no flush draw on the board's rainbow. Now here comes the backdoor flush draw. It's a backdoor flush draw, which there mostly will be. But there is one. I still have the nut low. Don't really want to see an ace or two come. Ah, there's an ace. Oh shit, it's the ace of clubs. What a horrible card. So I just check it down. Now, the other thing to recognize is that know your opponents. This guy, site 4, is very aggressive. Uh, he, if he bets the river here, he might not even have a flush or a low or anything. He might. So if I'm just going to check, I'm going to call any bet because still have the second nut low. That's an important thing to realize. To beat me for low, he has to precisely have 2-4. Problem is, I don't have any decent high. Well, I've got two pair, right? I've got two pair. I mean, that's not nothing, but it's not good. I've got a pretty mediocre high, but I do have a good low. So let's see what happens. Oh, and look what he's got here. So he's saying if you just go back a few seconds, see what he actually had. This is interesting, isn't it? That he is getting involved with hands like that. So he's not going to make a decent low with that hand. So as soon as the flop came, he was playing for half the pot. He was only playing for half the pot. He had a pair of nines. So for him to be doing that, and I've seen this guy before, and sometimes he's run his stack up to God knows what because people fold. People fold to his bets. And then he kind of crashes and burns. I've seen that. I've seen that. I think it might be the third time I've played with him, but I've had quite long periods of play with him, even those two other times. Uh, so I mean, what did he flop? He flopped an overpair and he had an open ender, right? So that's another thing he had, but still. He's playing for half the pot, or to try to get me to fold. I think that's what he really wants to do. Uh, so, so obviously I had to call them. Hope he didn't have 2-4. End up with half the pot. There's a possibility I was going to scoop there. That was not completely out of the question. I don't know about this. I actually think I should fold this. certainly it's a bigger table, like an 8-man table or something, I'd be folding it. Because it's not suited, do have Broadway potential, but I can make a good low. Hmm, right. Make the nut second nut low. That's always a problem, isn't it? You make the second nut low when you've got that many people in the pot. We're almost a family pot here. We're 5-way, and this is all because the bet size is so small, such a tiny bet. And now I can get out of the way. Such a tiny bet. What does that mean even? Has he got a high? Has he got a low? Now he just happily calls us to even think about it. And they split that up. He had ace two, you see. So I would have lost. Wow. I'm actually really glad that John triple XY, who's just exited stage right, um, you know, raised there. So I got away. Now look what I've got here. Look what I've got here. It's the next interesting hand. So we're actually starting to get some hands. The first 45 minutes, I think I had one decent one. It wasn't even a good hand. It was. I think for 45 minutes, I'm not even sure I had an ace. It felt like I didn't think I got an ace, and I was really sort of just trying to bide my time and hope to get something here. Though, got the nut low. Have kind of some counterfeit protection here. If a three were to come, sorry, for two or an ace were to come, again, it would give me the second nut low. A little bit like what happened in that previous hand, but because there's so many people here, anyway, and of course, I've also got the nut straight. So I've actually got the nuts in both directions here. If I'm really lucky, I might still have the nuts in one or both directions by the end. Let's see. There's a flush draw out here too, of course. So would be awesome, wouldn't it, if I had ace two of clubs with this? I mean, that would be just wanting to shovel money in here. As is, I check raise. I go for the check raise as it is, because I know he's aggressive. I know he's going to bet. He's probably not going to fold to my check raise that often. So there, the board pairs. Still have my low. I've got to get the money in here. There's a possibility I'm going to get quartered here. Well, I don't get quartered because he does have the nut low. So he had the nut low. I mean, he could have had bloody anything there, couldn't he? The way he plays, but he has the nut low. He made 3 7s, but I still have my straight. What Kenny Forever was doing in that pot, I mean, I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea. Should not have been involved in that at all at any stage. And then, he didn't even have, yeah, he needed to fold. He needed to fold the flop. That's absolutely had to fold that flop. So, because he could be behind for high already, doesn't have redraws. The thing to remember, this is a 220 tournament. The stakes are tiny, so people are going to show up with all kinds of stuff. Your hand wasn't very good, by the way, side 4, but that's actually way better than what you normally have. So my hand was better because it was suited. But anyway, I actually end up getting 3/4 of a 3-way pot, which is just amazing. I'm up to about 9,500 in chips. So going for almost an hour. See what happens next. Oh, I've got aces. I've got aces. Now, what do I decide to do? I just call. Now, that's got to be. Is that really terrible doing this? I'm out of position 4-way. Either I just pot and hope. I'm covering everybody. That's probably what I need to do in a bounty tournament. This is a bounty tournament. I can take people's bounties. With Kenny Forever, the way he played that previous hand, probably I need to pot it or something. The nine's a horrible card here, so it doesn't pretty much doesn't play. Ace four though, yeah, I probably need to get more money in here. Anyway, I go for the very conservative option. Try and see a flop, and then try and maybe knock him out. He's not a happy bunny. Stupid scum. I think he's from Britain. We use this word scum quite a bit there, right? Yeah, yeah, scum. Often used for like the opposing football team. And now he's a 2p arsehole. I don't know what a 2p, it sounds like a very, very cheap arsehole. You can get 50 arseholes for £1. That's very, very good value. So, um, I don't actually know what he means by that. So I bet this. Now I fold. I don't. Whew, is that okay? I mean, I didn't really hit the flop. Basically, I missed the flop, but I figured that everybody else was going to miss it too. Now on to the next hand. This golden AC, he is uh, just a little bit of a maniac, honestly. I don't hit this flop well. Well, just happy to check it back. I mean, I, I didn't want to put more money in the pot pre. I just actually wanted to see a flop. That's the strategy I'm using in this tournament, just to want to see flops. Now, this turn card is interesting. I've now got two pair. I've got a bad two pair. I've got the nut low draw though. Don't have any sort of flush possibilities. I've got stuff. So what do I want to do? Someone bets. Do I just call? I guess so. Also, I can boat up on the river here. Or I could obviously hit my low. So let's see how this one pans out. So he bets the pot. He's gonna be doing that with a lot of stuff. Although at the time I don't think I really knew that. So here comes Vladimir, and I happily call because of the odds I'm getting now. Now this is kind of amusing. I didn't realize what had happened. I just thought I had the three fours. I completely forgot that I had the 10 in my hand. Now how good is my hand here? And he's potting it again into two people. Uh, so Vladimir gets out of the way. Now there's all sorts of other full houses you can have here. You can have, jacks. That's good. That's a nut full house. That is the nuts actually. Tens because you can't have four fours. I've got a four. Tens is the second nut. Sixes are the third nuts. Then you keep going down. 10. So Jack 4 beats my hand. And I've got 10 4, and then 6 4. So there are actually six full houses. And this is what confuses me. There are always these six possible full houses. Why people don't talk about this? People are always saying I've got the top, I've got an under full. As if there are just two kind of full houses, or maybe three. Definitely six of these things. If you look at the combos, there are three combos of jacks. There are two combos of tens you could have. Is that right? No, just one. There's only one combo of tens. What am I saying? Three combos of sixes because I've got a 10. Anyway, I nearly didn't even realize I had the 10, and I got so close to folding here, which I think would have been absolutely atrocious. So see what happened here. Look, my finger is over the fold button. You can see it there. My finger's over the fold button. I get so close to, and then I thought, oh shit, I've got a full house. Well, that's terrible. So easy to miss things. Then I hit call. And I win. And he had a complete bluff. He had absolutely nothing. I mean, just see what he had. What was it? Jack 8 7 5, something like that. There we go. Jack 8 rainbow. Wow. So what the hell is he doing playing a hand like that? I've got no idea. But obviously I make a note on him. Got a note on him. Now he's got up to 24,000. So despite losing that pot, he's now got up to 24,000. Just been running like anything. He's got $2 in bounties. Well, he's got more than $2 in bounties. $2 is what you would win if you took him out. Now, I think I bet here. I've still got my aces. Now, I'm pretty sure. What do I do here? Do I just check this back? And I'm expecting him to bet a lot here. I'm expecting him to bet a lot. I'm just going to call. Oh, it's such a small. And I end up getting all of that pot too. Whoa. Up to 12,000. So if you can bide your time a bit against some of these people, you can do okay. Wow. Anyway, here we go. Good hand here, right? I mean, again, I don't really, unless I'm in position, I don't really want to be putting any extra money. I actually just want to see a flop. That's my philosophy for this tournament. Other times I've been wanting to play as I do other games, get money in. Now then, I think I still check. Got the nut low draw. Don't have any counterfeit protection. Don't have a straight possibility. Oh, sorry, I don't have a flush possibility. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, can make a wheel. So we're really. He bets the pot here, and I have to call. Although if someone check raise, it's okay. So you see what happens now. That's a horrible turn card. He's going to pot this, isn't he? He does. He pots it, right? And this is how he's making his money. Part of one reason why he's making his money. Oh, well, I don't know what. I'd have been in a real bind there. I think I would have had to fold it. So, and look what he got it all in with there. He had complete shite, didn't he? And Mr. Make I don't know what your name is. How you supposed to pronounce that name? Um, Make donosps, okay? Make donosps. He's making lots of donosps, and yeah, he had a set of kings. He had a set of kings, and he also had the nut. Um, and he had a set of kings with the nut flush draw. Wow, what a monster hand! And the nut low draw. He had an absolute. He had this whole shebang, pretty much. Golden Aces or like Golden AC, he was dominated to death there, wasn't he? And there came the low. He didn't even need it. He didn't need that low. That was just complete overkill given what he actually had. He didn't just win it. He completely obliterated. And Golden, this is very interesting now. It's a bounty tournament. He's got under 4,000 chips, and you know, you two cover him, I certainly cover him. So let's see what happens next. Right, this hand here. Ooh, so say nice hand. I think I just want to see a flop here. It's not a great hand. It's not a great hand, but it does. The eight's what kills us. It does have could make a straight with the five and the eight, but it's going to be rare. Um, you can make Broadway. You can make flush draws big. You can make a wheel. You can make stuff. And then what do? I think do I get out of the, no, I don't get out of the way here. I do his bounty, because I'm probably actually doing pretty well against what he has. It's interesting they both fold. They probably shouldn't be doing that, right? But they've both got smaller stacks than me. Ah, and as I don't have a high, I don't have any high possibility to speak of. I've got my back doors, that's all. I think I get out of the way now, because if you put another club out there or something, I'd be all over this. But he's got um, he's got his two pair. He did actually flop. He did actually flop something. He flopped the nut low draw, back door. He's got all sorts of straight possibilities there too. He's got a double gut shot. The eight gives him a straight. Four gives him a straight. So he actually flopped really well. Um, I mean, you think you had to call there. You actually had two small pair. The low's not going to come all the time. He's got a ton of chips. He's now got three pair. He's got 2/3 of the equity going to the river card. What's the river card going to be? Oh, it's an eight, and the low comes, and he's still alive. He's still alive. Oh, okay. Not in fact, not only is he alive, he scoops the whole pot because he makes a straight too, right? So yeah, that's not a bad card for you. Not a bad card. 9,000. So, I just cover him now. 3-2-4-2. It's not a good hand, but is seeing a flop here would kind of be nice. So see a flop. Someone raises to 1,050 or whatever it would be. I'm just going to get out of the way. A lot of aces are. People might not even have aces. I'm thinking, are the aces dead? Maybe. So let's make Denosps. See, he calls. We'll go. It's a family pod. Everybody happy, happy family. And so our aces in people's hands. I don't like this flop really. It needs specifically need an ace here. It's the only thing I'm hoping for. Now he's probably going to pot this, isn't he? That's just what he does. And he doesn't. Oh, there comes the ace. Here comes the ace. Would you believe it? So there's flush draw out there, backdoor flush draws out there. But I've got, at the moment I've got the nuts, so I want to get some money in here. But maybe not too much though. I don't want to scare people away. So how much do I want to put in here? I guess golden's going to call, and maybe I can really bam the river then. It's kind of so, yeah, I get two calls. A little bet here. So happy to see that turn card roll off. You know, maybe people didn't have aces in their hands. And so anyway, that's a pretty good river card for me too. I no longer have the nuts, um, the nuts straight. But the other thing to recognise is that I actually have two twos in my hand, which increases the chance that, well, it reduces the chance that somebody else has got 2-3. And I think if somebody else had 2-3, I'd have known about it by now, right? Anyway, regardless of the two twos, but just probabilistically, just having two small twos in the deck instead of three obviously reduces the chance that somebody else has got the 2-3 combination. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to get at least half this pot here, and I'd like people to call me. Really like people to call me, and both to call me. Okay, here you go. Anyway, that's an interesting hand. What do I decide to do with this? Decide to limp in. Ugh, on the cutoff, I'd certainly raise this up. So I would never limp any hands there. I need a. Right, we're going to get a nice flop here. Let's see. I've actually been flopping a lot better this tournament, and that's probably why I'm. Oh, look at this flop, right? Top two pair, redraws to other stuff. Probably. Do I need to bet as big as that? Probably. I want to protect my hand. Oof. Now I bet again. The low hasn't come in. It can't have done yet. So at the moment, pretty sure I'm ahead of anything that Golden has. I mean, who knows? He could have a set. Anyway, just take it down. That's interesting. He folds there. Wasn't expecting him to fold. I was quite surprised by that. Now I've been going for an hour and a half and up to 12,500. 34th place, 201 left. It's probably less than that now. But about a top 20%, nearly top 15% of those live in the tournament. So I've made a good start to the tournament. Well, the absolute start wasn't so good, but yeah, but after that, you know, I've been running pretty well. Haven't been doing anything out of line, haven't been bluffing or whatever. I just don't think you need to in a tournament like this. So, look at this though. This is kind of funny, isn't it? So I'm the red line here. So I start pretty badly, chip up, gradually, you know, kind of in a bit of a holding pattern at the moment. Then you've got Mr. Green here. And his is like this heartbeat pattern, isn't it? Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. You know, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. And he is, yeah, so that's kind of funny. Maybe that's a different style of play. It could be a different style of play we're talking about here. Maybe I need to be going for that. Just trying to do that and get more bounties that way. I haven't won any bounties. Let's see if I win lots of bounties later on. If there's a later on. How much later does the later on go? Okay, keep going. This, yeah, there's the push play. There we go. So he's in 62nd place. So there's still 12 minutes to the late reg finishes. There's a lot of time, and in a bounty tournament, you shouldn't be registering that late. So I've got a good hand here. Again, I've got the two twos. Ooh, and that's helping me again here. It makes it much less likely that someone has the ace deuce combination. So if we think about just combinatorically, there are three combinations. There are three aces and two twos, so there are so with three aces and three twos, there'd be nine combos, and that cuts it down to six. So everybody's 33% less likely to have the nut low draw than I do. Than they would if I hadn't had those two twos. So two twos, like low pairs, harm you. Usually, you don't want to have a low card. I'd much rather have a four here than a two. But they mean that if you do have the nut low that uses that paired card, somebody else, you're less likely to share it with somebody, less likely to get quartered potentially. So let's see how this one pans out. Five ways, nearly a family pot again. Look how many people are seeing flops here. Now I've got the nut. I've got the nut low, and I want to put some money in here. So Mr. Tractor, I think that's how it's a Russian, a Ukrainian. And the P is actually it's probably supposed to be a Cyrillic R. And look what I've got here. The flush has come, sadly, but obviously I've got a call here. And hope the Tractor calls as well. Hopefully I'm going to get... Okay, so he did make the nut. He made the nut flush, right? Made the nut flush. I mean, that was an interesting turn card for him because, you know, put three fours out there. So he had a lot of outs to really to the high end. But and also he still had, you know, had cards that, you know, still had some possibility of making a low too. You know, and he does make a low. He makes a live seven, but it's not actually a very good low. When you've got four cards and four low cards, but the highest is a seven, having a live, did I say live seven? Live ace is what I mean to say. It's terminology. It's getting to me. So it's got 7, 6, 4, 3 ace. So actually having a live low, which means that you're playing one of the cards in your hand plus one of the cards that is also on the board, in this case the 4, means when 6 is the top card, then that live low is actually pretty strong. When 7 is there, it weakens enormously. At 8, it's terrible. You have a terrible low. So, yep. The other funny thing was that with that is he had, yeah, well, I don't know. I was trying to think. There's no really real funny thing. I was going to go off on a tangent there. Ignore me, because I made a straight on the river, so I was, you know, pretty happy. But when I saw the flush card come, I thought, heck, probably only going to get half the pot here. That's what happened. So, and the other interesting thing, okay, maybe that's the funny thing that I was trying to say, was that Macdonosps gets all the bounty. And I think this is only 50 cents, kind of who cares, but sometimes it's $20, right? So a three-way pot like this, this is it. This is how PokerStars do. I don't know about other sites. I have a funny feeling other sites do it differently, but he, yeah, he gets all the bounty, even though we split the pot. The high gets all the bounty, which I think's weird personally. It's a split pot game. Why should the bounties not be split? I mean, say if in Hold'em, right? Even in this game, you have a split pot there. This bounty would be split, right? And I'm pretty sure it'd be the same here. If you both had the high and there was no low, you both shared the high, which happens sometimes, then you know, you share the bounty, right? So it's weird how they do it this way. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I've got complete junk here. Now I make a note about this guy, and I think my note was premature. I say he's a good player. I say he knows what he's doing. Making good aggressive bets. Some not playing too many hands. Yeah, but part of it, and I think I make this mistake. I think we all make this mistake, is that I see that he's got 9 times the chips that we started with, Well, he must be a good player, but actually looking at someone's chip stack and thinking he's a good player is a really, really bad idea. So Golden AC is, after getting down to under 4,000, has now got 14. It's basically got the same as me. Oh, so what happened? Did I make a flush there? Possibly. Might have been a hand that anyway. And you had, oh, well, look what you had there. God, you had second up low, but no possibility of a decent high. I mean, you had to just get away from that at a much, much earlier stage. Uh, just drawing to second nut lows and really crappy highs. I mean, you're just asking for it there, frankly. So here I've got a hand where I've got um, stuff, okay? But now I don't really have stuff. I just have, the king is the only good thing about this flop. You never know if I see it. Oh, there's another king. Oh, that's interesting. So, what do I do here? I just call. And why is that what I do? Do I just call? Do I not put some more money in here? Oh, don't like this. I'm trying to boat up. I think that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to boat up here, hit a 10 or an ace or something. As it turns out, that didn't happen, and I just bet the river. My kings, ace kicker. Okay. Oof. I think this is a bad call. See, I'm double suited. Got the three wheel cards. I don't like this limp actually. I think I just sort of let this go. The next time I play this tournament, hopefully that's what I'll do. So I just wasted 250. I'm pretty sure I fold now. Brown Bear. I don't know Brown Bear. It's an unknown player to me. And this Tiger dicing, you start to see a lot of him. He's going to be a big player. Well, Golden AC, he's gone. He's gone. I didn't think we were ever going to get rid of him. But look at Brown Bear's hand. Look what he had. See, he raised that up. I don't know what I would do with that. Would I actually fold? Or would I just call? I mean, your hand's not very good. You've got three aces without a wheel card. Or maybe, it's you're hoping for a certain type of flop. Now he got a certain type of flop. So royal flush draw, everybody. So he had a straight draw, flush draw, still had his pair of aces. He could have still made another ace. Hit another ace. There's one possible one out to that. Because I didn't. So anyway, but he took this guy out. Just his pair of aces actually was the deciding factor in the end. So right, 14,500 thereabouts. But a good hand. It's not fantastic though, because the ace isn't suited. If the ace had been suited, that would put my hand into a different league. So now we're going for nearly 2 hours, getting on that way. And so I actually have hit some hands. Which I didn't at the really early stage of the tournament. Still 181 people left. I think the 90 something get paid. So only about half the people left are going to get paid here. Now I've got the second nut low and I've got the nut flush blocker. So what should I be doing here? I think I need to bet pretty big. If he checks it, should be betting pretty big. And I don't think this is good. I bet quite small here. I think I need to bet bigger. Maybe that helped me though, because he just folded. But maybe I induced that raise. So he potted is what I'm trying to say. And then I'm sure I get out of the way here. Yeah, okay. And luckily enough, I think my small bet probably saved me chips here, but only that's being results oriented. I think it needs to raise bigger there. Or bet bigger there. Bet bigger there. Oh, I'm struggling to find words this morning. That's not very good because I'm going to have to teach later. I'm gonna have to talk. So yeah. So that ace was just a horrible card. Bets half the pot. What does make Denosps do? He's taking his time, isn't he? He calls. Oh, and he ends up getting half the pot. So what actually happened there? That was really interesting. Really, really interesting. It looked like he might. Okay. So how did he make that call? He called with 5-4 and a live 6. Is that what he's got here? He's got 8-6-5-4-1. That's how that plays. 8-6-5-4 ace. So a really bad low. And he's got so I actually have a better low. I would have made a better low. And would I would I have scooped this? Hang on, no, hang on. This is so confusing. He would have had a better low. He had 6-5-4-2 ace, right? So he wins the low, but you win the high with your 5s and 4s. Wow. Because I would have won the high if I'd stayed in, but I mean, I don't think I could have stayed in there. I don't know. As it turned out, I probably should have called that bet on the that raise on the flop, but probably need to bet bigger myself actually. If I bet bigger, I don't know what he would have done. Probably, yeah, I think I need to bet bigger. It's a very, very wet board as well. I think you need to bet bigger on a wet board. It's generally the case. Okay, right. I'm actually looking at this again now. Figure out what the hell just went on. I remember in real time not really understanding what happened there. How he made that call. Wow. Terrible high and a terrible low. Right, here's the next hand that I want to have a look at. Ugh. So I sort of continue my strategy here of wanting to see flops relatively cheaply. Now my hand, of course, but I think I need to throw that out the window here. I think this make Denosps gets out of the way, and I just should have three bet him. Should have. I mean, I'm going to cover him. Cover. The only person I don't cover is this big brown bear here with this big thumping stack. So I needed to just to three bet this. So that it's a bit of a bugger because I don't have a good low possibility. I can make a low, which is worth something. This is better than ace 9-10 would be, or ace 9 jack, I guess, something like that. But it does have a suit too. I am blocking one of my own outs, but hey, I think I've got to try and get this heads up here. And instead, what I try and do is see a flop. I don't think that's the way to do this. I think I misplayed this. Right, so, and of course you've got Stefan here. This is another thing. He doesn't have a lot of chips left. So what's he going to do? Um, I'm in 46th place, and that's basically irrelevant. Don't worry about trying to get into the money or something. The initial money is when you just limp into the money is bugger all. You need to yeah, aim higher. So anyway, so I just call here, mistake, allows brown bear in cheaply. Now Stefan, he just I'm still going to call this bet, this raise here. But see what's Tiger dicing just goes all in. Oh bugger, right. So this gets a little bit complicated now because we have a side pot as well. But um, obviously Stefan just flops fantastically well. So Stefan wins the side pot here with his kings. There's a set of kings that he flopped there, and then the tiger dicing ends up winning the, yeah. So Stefan wins the main pot. That's what I'm trying to say. It's tiger dicing wins the side pot. Whoa. Okay. And you know, I would also have, so if we go back, what did I have? I had ace. So yeah. I mean, look though, before the flop, look at what he had there, 54%. I had the same hand. We basically had the same hand. I had a slightly better hand because I was suited. I had the nuts. Well, I had the nuts suits, but actually, as it turns out, you also had the best spade draw there. So um, we basically would have been absolutely flipping there. It's amazing how often when you have aces, somebody else will have aces in this game compared to Hold'em, when it would be in the tens of thousands to one chance that you hold. If you have pocket aces, someone else at a six-handed table's got pocket aces. It's once in a blue moon. Um, so, but obviously you all have more cards. It's much more likely to happen. So anyway, um, so he had 54% equity pre-flop there, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, aces does dominate. You have they both kind of have the same low, so yeah. But anyway, that king came, and that was amazing for Stefan. Okay, all all the money Stefan got from that, just getting that set of kings, amazing. Anyway, I limp in here. I think I should have folded. Actually, I think I should have folded. Don't have a suit. Don't have. Um, it's just not a good hand, actually. I think I need to fold there. Also, I've got the odds now to go for 2 hours, as that says, and the flop's pretty terrible for me. So happily just give this one up, assuming somebody bets. Now this Stanku from Romania is. Oh, I think I've seen people like you. I think I know people like you. I think if I met you, I probably wouldn't trust you. Maybe I'm being. Uh, you can't. I mean, you can't tell. I mean, I have no idea what Stanku is like as a real person. Assuming that's what he really is. He looks. He looks very much like a typical young Romanian. Oh, okay. You've given me the second nut low. That would have done. That would have been a nice card for me. But but then look at that. Look at the river card there. So all that. Oh, what? Look at that. What that puts out there. Okay. So what I've tied for the low. I think so. Now that's an interesting hand. Two pair hands is kind of interesting. Um, really want to flop a set here. I think I prefer to flop a set of queens rather than a set of aces, actually. Because if you flop a set of aces, that puts a low card out there. So a set of queens, it doesn't. So anyway, I decided to just c-bet this. 60% roughly of the pot. What do I do here? Just check it back. Let's put the low out there. Now the flush gets there, and he just pots it. And I'm guessing I'm behind, but who knows? Could be bluffing there. It's that's awkward. That was awkward. I just want to, you know, make something, hit a nice river card or something, but just get away from that. And now I'm losing a bit of ground now. You can see that I'm down to 9,000. Hand's not very good here. Can make a low. Make a really bad set. Stuff I can make. Like a wheel, right? That'd be nice. Steel wheels, even possible. All sorts of little possibilities. And oh, now then, I check this back. Is that the thing to do? Should I have bet the flop? And I've got a set of fours. Also got a draw to a pretty decent low hand. Low If a 2 was to come or a 5 was to come. Now then. My low's not very good. I just have the 3 4s. That's really all I have of the 3 4s. Low's pretty terrible. As I said before, when the 8 is the top card and you've got a live low, your low's not very good. So anyway, we actually have the same low, and I win the pot. The half. So I actually get 3/4 of what is unfortunately a very, very small pot. And here I think I've got enough to at least see a flop. You'll see it looks like I'm getting okay hands most of the time. Well, um, it's because I'm just selecting hands. So these are not all of my hands. We'd be over here all night, all day and all night if I was going to play and commentate on every single hand I had. In real time, I didn't commentate, and that's because I was just tired. I'd been working. I actually just having to talk. Exhausting. Now, what an interesting hand this is. Again, I get quite a lot of hands like this. We've already seen some, right? Where I have aces and not fantastic side cards. I mean, the king really helped. I mean, I like the fact that I've got a king. That's nice. But the 7 is just a complete dangler here. Just so I don't get stuff like I'm not getting stuff like ace ace 3 5, ace ace 3 king, ace ace queen 4. It's all kind of these medium cards, maybe a Broadway like this. It doesn't look not too bad because it has a suit, but you know, obviously I'm raise it up. Okay, do flop a nut flush draw, but my low. I have a low draw. That's pretty crappy. So I'm obviously going to bet this as a C bet. That's sort of 60%-ish. That's not a good card for me. Now, should I be barreling off again here? Now, it's actually weird. I was pretty happy to take that down, actually. Not a big pot, medium-sized pot, I suppose. But just to take it down. Could have got bluffed off that, actually. What did he have? See what he had. So that put straight draws and stuff out there. So, okay. I don't know whether you'll call on the flop is such a good idea because you've got no low. So I actually had the low draw here, right? I had the best low. So sometimes just having one low card here, it's one low draw, which is what I had, meant that I was drawing live to the low there too, without really knowing it. But that's a really bad hand in this game, actually. Really bad hand. If he makes a straight here, if he makes the nuts straight, say if 765 comes, well, that puts a low on the board. And of course, his flush is going to be dominated a lot of the time, as it was here. If the other flush card comes in, completing the flush. So anyway, move on to the next one. I mean, should I bet the turn or put more money in? I don't know. Interesting hand here. I think doing what I'm doing here, you want to see a multi-way flop here, but I think I just get out of the way here. You want people in with a hand like this, a speculative hand. The flop would have been terrible for me. So it's interesting that Stefan is so short. It's got a tiny little bounty, but it's worth at least trying to pick up. So it ends up, so Stanku put all this money in with a shitty hand, honestly. But of course on the flop, he had and this is it, right? He has the nut straight on the flop. He's unlucky there because he also had a blocker for somebody else to have the nut straight, but Make do not had it anyway. And then so even though he cut down the combos, he still that was a bit unlucky. But I mean, both of you had shitty hands. That's the crazy thing. So, but people in this tournament, a lot of them just don't care. So, I feel like I'm being too tight actually to just not pre-flop probably not really playing enough hands, or because anyway. So he had the low there and gets 3/4 of the pot. Stanku was crippled by the way, he loses half a stack from that. Now I would have called here. Do I call? Because of the bounty there. Not now though. Now I have to just give it up. I'm being a little bit cheesed off by that. Because my hand's terrible. Oh, there's Stanku. So, what's he drawing to here? Well, I wouldn't mind an ace to come actually. An ace would be okay. Because if a five comes, he makes a straight. Five comes, he makes a straight. But Stefan makes a better straight. So five's not out for you. Yeah, he's drawing pretty damn slim here, isn't he? No ace comes. He's out of the tournament. 1993, and so is Stefan too. So he picks up 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, Juan Big Nuts seems to be a good player. See quite a bit of him. Got a good hand here. Tiger Dicing's up to 22,000. Had a good run. Peter, look at him. So obviously it says min raise. Want to just now if he's got 3 betters, somebody had potted this to what 4,000 or whatever it would be. It would be 4,000, wouldn't it? Be like, well, what the? I guess I'd have do but that would put me in an awkward spot. I'm glad he didn't do that. I don't have a lot of chips. We're just about to enter the money. So anyway, look what I have. I have um I have a royal flush draw. Yay, got a royal flush draw. Now I actually have have the Broadway because nobody bet the flop. I decide to bet this, bet half the pot. He folds. What do I decide to do here? I think I'm going to check fold here actually. The fact that he called that river, that's just it's not a good card. Check it down. Okay, and I ended up losing that pot because he actually had the flush. He had the flush there. So here we are. We're now hand for hand because we're basically on the bubble of the tournament now, the money bubble. Don't have a lot of chips. So yeah, he rivered the nut flush, but far from the nuts, of course. So much paint on that board. Anyway, now here, look what I've got. Now this is an interesting one. I think I just have to go with this now. I think the bubble's just burst. Not that it matters a whole lot. And I raise it up. I don't have a suit. Do have a little wheel card. Helps me certainly. But another one of these hands where I don't have great side cards to go with my now I flop well enough, I think, to go with my aces. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm getting aces quite often, but not great cards to go with them. I feel like I flop enough here. Got an overpair, obviously. That flush blocker, for what it's worth a lot less now because I'm so shallow. So let's see what I do. See what I'm pretty sure I just bet this. It's a check. I bet. I found this really interesting and really surprising. So I get it. Okay, I put half my stack in. He raises. He check raises there. So he must know something that I don't about this game. He must know. I mean, he clearly plays this game a lot more than I do. I have to call clearly, and I'm wondering what he might have. He might have a set or something. That's what I'm thinking. In which case, I'm in really, really bad shape. Like a set of tens. I wouldn't be surprised if he has something like that. So what was interesting was when the money went in there, it was 60-40. right? So 60-40. And yeah, I was a big, well, didn't feel like I was a big underdog. If you're 60-40 in a split pot game, that will often mean that you're going to escape with half or escape with something the majority of the time. Well, that's not true here because on the flop, there was only one low card, which meant that the pot is, most of the time, the pot is not going to be split. Most of the time, one person's going to get the whole pot, and most of the time it wasn't going to be me. Now I looked at that. I'm still trying to figure this out. So what's he got on the flop? He's got a flush draw, which I can't possibly make a flush. He also has a gut shot straight draw, and apparently that trumps what I have with my pair of aces. So that's really interesting. I didn't expect to see that with a hand like that he would be that far ahead of me. And on the flop, I was a favourite. I was better than even to get knocked out of the tournament. I worked that out that had a I had a 51% chance of being knocked out of the tournament, 32% chance of a double up, which would have been nice, wouldn't it? There's only a 17% chance the pot would get split, and that makes sense because you need running low cards. So obviously the low card comes on the turn, and now what am I trying to hit on? Like another low card on the river would be very nice. That would give me half the pot. Other things, you know, like an ace, right? If an ace comes, you don't have a low, so that would be very nice. Nine comes, right? There's all sorts of stuff here, like a 2 comes, a 7 comes, stuff that's going to just kill me. You know, Jack, whatever. Uh, you know. So let's see what the river card is. Oh, the river card's a 6. Whoa, okay. So that was one of the 17% of the time, that 17 times out of 100, that I do survive with half the pot, where the pot gets split. So he still takes the high. He's got his 7s and 2s give him the high, crappy high, but um, I take the low. So I kind of escaped there really. As I said, more than half the time I was getting eliminated from the tournament right there. So and he must have known that. He must have known that. I mean, I think he's a good player, but his flop was actually very strong, and he's happy to check raise me there. It's really interesting. I didn't expect it. I wouldn't have expected him to have 60% equity on the flop against me there. It's, it's hard for me to get my head around that, but the figures are there. The figures, they don't lie. I've checked them. So anyway, that's the end of that little session. We're going now for almost 2.5 hours, 2 hours 20 roughly. I'll be back for the second part of this video series, second part of 3. It's going to be 3. Oh, is that giving you a spoiler? So that tells you it's going to run a little way. I'm not going to get knocked out in the next 5 minutes. So we will adjourn, and I will be back shortly with the second part. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that, and hopefully I can chip up a little bit. Well, that'd be nice. So anyway, bye for now.